your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Over 30% of adults struggle with chronic foot and joint pain, and many face mobility limitations as they age. But a revolutionary Comfort First slipper has taken the wellness world by storm. Try Cloud Slides and feel you are walking on the clouds. Cloud Slides.
Hello and welcome on in to this Friday edition of the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart on Rogue Media Sports Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are live on YouTube as we are every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then available wherever you get your podcasts as well. So your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, it is right here on the Wicked Boston Show. Of course, what we have to talk about today is the biggest game of the Patriots season and probably the biggest Patriots game in half a decade as they host the Buffalo Bills with a chance to clinch the AFC East championship on Sunday. But maybe looking at it from the other side of things, why are the Bills favored in this game? And if the Patriots beat them, does that close the Bills Super Bowl window for good? We'll talk about that. We will also talk about the insane report coming out about the Boston Red Sox that will make you want to boycott the entire team. And we say goodbye to one of a true Boston sports landmark this weekend. We're going to pay tribute to Matthews Arena, the former Boston Arena, the oldest indoor arena in the United States. And yes, the original home of both the Bruins and the Celtics. We'll take a trip through time there. And then, I guess a little trip to the future, because we got to look at the Stadium Series jerseys that the Bruins unveiled last night. Zach and I, we had our prototypes out there. We had the ones we liked. We'll see how this one hit the mark. All that and more coming up on this episode of the Wicked Boston Show. But we start where we start. It's in the thumbnail. It is why you're joining us on this lovely but chilly Friday early afternoon. And that is the Patriots and the Bills. It's the biggest game in a while. Not quite a generation. 5 years, I wouldn't call that a generation, but this is huge. This is the game on the AFC calendar in 2025. Patriots, Bills, hat and t-shirt game in Foxborough for the first time in a while. And to the surprise of many, it's not the 11-2 team coming off a bye, playing at home, with the MVP frontrunner at quarterback, who's the favorite in this one. Our partners over at DraftKings has the Patriots as 1.5-point home dogs. And there's actually a pretty simple reason why. I'd love to get up in arms about this, but I think I understand where they're coming from here. And look, you can talk about the external stuff, right? Buffalo's experience in these kinds of games. That's what people are going to be talking about. Josh Allen is 22-9 in December in his NFL career. You can talk about this Patriots team being the opposite end of that spectrum and not having really any experience in these kinds of games. But there is a tangible on-field football reason why the Bills are favorites in this game, and honestly, why Patriots fans should be worried. Because I'm starting to get a little worried. The last time these two teams played, all the way back in October, all the way at the beginning of this winning streak for the Patriots, which now sits at 10 games. The Patriots were the best rush defense in the NFL back then. In fact, they were in the midst of arguably the greatest run of any run defense of the last 75 years. They were setting records. And that first time around, they held James Cook completely in check. Held him under 50 rushing yards. It's a hell of a feat when you look at what that guy's done this year with 1,300 rushing yards already. We still got a couple of weeks left in the season. He's only had 2 games under 50 rushing yards all year. He has 7 100-yard games, including a 200-yard game. Very low-key. James Cook has been one of the best players in the NFL this year, not just one of the best at his position. In fact, you talk about what kind of Herculean effort would it take to be an MVP of this league without being a quarterback anymore? Like everyone talks Jonathan Taylor, but this year, if you had to pick one that's not a quarterback, it's probably James Cook. He's been that good, except for that one game against the Patriots. And this offense truly goes as he goes. They've got 4 losses this year, the Bills do, and he's been held under 100 yards in 3 of them. So basically, if Buffalo can run the ball effectively, they're going to win the game. The biggest game changers in that first matchup back in Buffalo were the Patriots defense forcing 3 turnovers and James Cook being held in check. Here's the bad news. The Patriots are not the same rush defense they were back in week 5. Not by a long shot. Okay? Not even close, actually. It's getting concerning because since week 9, 2 weeks before Milton Williams went on the IR, the Patriots are 31st in EPA per rush in the NFL. Only the New York Giants are worse. And we saw how bad that was. We saw how much of a train wreck that run defense is a couple weeks ago. My biggest concerns around this Patriots team are in the run game, and that is on both sides of the ball. They have a defense filled with veterans in the front seven, guys they had to go out and get in free agency. They're not young bucks, old guys who are feeling the wear and tear of a grueling NFL schedule. The evidence is right in front of us. It's playing out every week. They went from having the longest streak of holding rushers under 50 yards in 75 years to being arguably the worst run defense in the NFL in the last month. So now that we've gotten that empirical, tangible football stat out of the way, this is where all the other stuff comes into play. Buffalo knows how to win in December. They don't know how to win in January, but damned if they don't know how to win in December. And that's not even being, like, that's for real, man. Twice in the last 4 seasons, their division title hopes were slipping away. They were trailing in that race in late December. And both times, they went on the road and beat the team ahead of them in the division in December. 2021, it was against the Patriots, basically a winner-take-all game. And in 2023, it was at the Dolphins in a winner-take-all game. Like, it was this same scenario for all intents and purposes. Sean McDermott, Josh Allen, these guys have been there, done that. They are not shuddering at this game. And I don't think the Patriots are necessarily shuddering, but who on this team has experience playing games like this in December? Hunter Henry and Ramondre Stevenson, 1 time each. You know, Christian Gonzalez doesn't. Drake May doesn't. Mike Vrabel, it's been a while since he's coached in one of these games. But no, your answer is Stephon Diggs. That's pretty much it, because he was playing in Buffalo for those years. Milt Williams would have been another one. He's not playing. He's not out there. You know, Harold Landry doesn't have it. Robert Spillane doesn't have it. Marcus Jones, I guess Carlton Davis a little bit with Detroit the last couple of years. Those other guys don't have it. I'm not saying they can't win, but I'm saying if you want to look at that, at those things, those extraordinary factors in this game, external factors in this game, that is advantage Buffalo, big time. Now here's the good news, Patriots fans. This is what it was always going to take. You can't be back until you knock out one of the big guns in a big game. And I think a lot of Patriots fans are still on the same page of, like, house money. Just whatever happens is great. Que sera, sera, you know? This season has been fun. It is fun. But here with the Patriots, you don't play for winning streaks. You don't raise a banner for that. Kraft did it that one time and took it down. You don't play for MVPs. You play for championships. No matter what, Drake May is going into the divisional round or maybe the wild card round, having never played an NFL playoff game. Like that, no matter how great his season is, no matter if they win 15 games, that is still going to be the case. Or maybe this is it. Maybe this is Drake May's first playoff game, 1 p.m. this Sunday, Gillette Stadium. This is the first pressure-packed, something on the line kind of game that he has played in the NFL. And as good as the Bills are, and as scary as they are this time of year, I think we need to remind ourselves of something. The Patriots are a better team. Right now, this year, they've got a better team. They've got an impeccable quarterback play. Back end of the defense has been outstanding, and they're winning even when they're not playing their best, which is something that was absolutely unthinkable the last couple of seasons. Put on a new hat and t-shirt after this game. This is your first playoff game right here. And yeah, if you take this from the Bills, that could be a backbreaker for them. That could be the end of this Super Bowl window. They've already admitted, most of their fans and the people covering them say, this is probably the worst team they've had in the last 5 years. But they look at this path and they see Denver and New England. What they don't see is Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, or Lamar Jackson. Bills fans still like their chances if they win this game. They really like their chances. But if the Patriots win and put on those AFC East champions hat and t-shirts after the game, it's not their ultimate goal, but that might just break Buffalo's back. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, come at you live every weekday, noon Eastern time on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio is right here on the Wicked Boston Show. You think I'm lying about the Bills fans being confident? They're in the comment section. You got one last time, not this time. I'm telling you, they're confident, man. And I'm not saying that's wrong. They actually probably should be. If I'm a Bills fan looking at this and seeing Bo Nix and Drake May, who've played a combined one playoff game as the top two seeds in the AFC, maybe they should be confident in this. The AFC's wide open, and the Bills still have a hell of a team. A true hell of a team. But how about this, Bobby? If the Patriots win on Sunday and Drake May wins the MVP, you got to change that little avatar there. Little Drake May MVP. Can we do that? Can we put a little friendly wager on this thing? Send me a Bills hat. I'll wear it for an episode. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below and like and subscribe. Appreciate you watching live. We're going to be coming back in just a minute. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to look at this inflammatory report about the Red Sox that is going to make you want to quit baseball entirely and never go to Fenway Park on your own dime ever again. That's coming up next on the Wicked Boston Show.
whypersonalloans.com. Request a loan anytime. Our partners can offer loans up to $35,000 with varying rates and terms. Review your loan offer with no obligation and decide what works for you. Visit personalloans.com today.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com.
I know you're gonna love this Kodak Dot Plus printer. You guys just connect it to your smartphone. I can assure you, you are going to love this printer as much as my family has. You guys have to check it out for yourself.
I am obsessed with helping business owners increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. It's this amazing platform where people are looking for ideas, inspiration, they have a problem, and they're actively looking for a solution.
Bubble wasn't here. I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
Man, not to peel back the curtain too much here, but I'm usually like doing work, getting things ready for the next segment during those commercials. I don't usually watch them. I listen to them. I get to find out what the story is with the woman in the Kodak commercial. I gotta get her story. That's all. Zach loves that. Zach, it's like that episode of The Office where Michael Scott likes the chair model. He's trying to track her down. All I'm saying. The girl from Abilene too. She looked great in the Mapaful commercial too. Anyway, we're talking about Boston sports. That's what we do on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart every weekday, noon Eastern time, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. It's your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It's right here on the Wicked Boston Show. We've been doing a lot of Red Sox this week, right? Because hot stove, winter meetings, Red Sox supposed to be making some moves. And I'll admit, I've kind of bought into it. Like, I was sitting there in like August thinking about what moves they needed to make, who's going to be a free agent, that the fact that they would have money to spend. And I kind of bought into it again. And there's still plenty of time for the Red Sox to make some good moves here and add to this team and make them a legit World Series contender. But there was a report that came out yesterday that just really turns me off to that. Actually, it was this morning when it came out. One MLB agent just dropped a bomb on the baseball world, specifically to Red Sox fans. And this report is telling you what you already know when you're lying in bed awake at night, wondering what happened to the franchise you used to know. Sean McAdam reporting that an agent told him the Red Sox, quote, do not believe in long-term contracts. They don't believe in long-term contracts. That's great. That is just lovely. Man, fire it up. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. Like, that's just sick. The Boston Red Sox, with a top 5 market in all of MLB, just don't believe in the very thing that propels you into championship contention in this sport. Freaking awesome. Awesome. That is exactly what I wanted to hear today after they left empty-handed from the winter meetings, as Pete Alonso is wearing a Baltimore Orioles cap. Fire me up, John Henry. Now, clearly, there is a bit of a caveat to this because they have guys on the roster under long-term contracts. Garrett Crochet, Roman Anthony, Brian Bayo, even Christian Campbell. And he played most of the season in the minors. But that's a little bit different. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad move to sign Garrett Crochet and Roman Anthony to long-term extensions. I'm here for that. But it's also, the way they're working is a coward's way out for a team like the Boston Red Sox. And not a lot of people will say it because they're good and they're going to be a good team next year. But in reality, if they were doing business the way they used to do business, this would be a legit World Series contender right now. And so to me, with a team with this kind of bank account to operate like this, it is an absolute coward's way out. You bought out 2 years of free agency for Roman Anthony with a club option to make it 3 years. Even with the club option, he hits free agency when he's 30 years old. He's still in his prime. And if this report from Sean McAdam is the actual philosophy the Red Sox have, just enjoy Roman Anthony while you still got him. You'll get some great years out of him, maybe the best years. But if this is their philosophy, he's just going to be the next Mookie Betts. There won't be a club option because they'll trade him a year before his contract is up. Because that's how freaking smart they are. They're just so goddamn smart, I can't help it. Can't you see? They're not being cheap. They're being smart. Ironically, just like Enron, they're the smartest guys in the room. We'll tell our fans we're going in on a number 2 starter to go alongside Garrett Crochet. But what we'll actually do is get Sonny Gray for a bargain because he sucked last year and he's 36 freaking years old. And then we'll have the manager go on MLB Network and tell everyone how we're going to lower his ERA by an entire run because our outfield is so good defensively, and where the guys are hitting homers off Sonny Gray, they're actually going to be catches at Fenway. That's how we win. Like, with your trade capital and with your money, you're telling me the best thing you can do is go out and get Sonny Gray and maybe lower his ERA. Again, you don't need to look any further than literally any contender in the friggin' league to see that this is how business is supposed to be done, not the way the Red Sox are doing it. The Yankees, the Blue Jays, the Phillies, the Dodgers, all of them commit to long-term contracts to superstars, even if they're in their 30s. Oh, but the last few years of Aaron Judge's contract's not going to be great. Who fucking cares, man? He's a top 10 WAR player. He hits 50 homers a year. He's the best right-handed hitter in baseball. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And you're going to say, oh, yeah, well, we'll hit 50 home runs for the first 7 years. But for the last 3, man, where are you going to put him? DH? I don't know. Maybe, sure. Yeah. Like, the Red Sox and the Rockies and the Pirates and the Rays are like the only teams that care about that shit. The Red Sox should be doing the same business the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Mets are doing. And instead, they're sitting there with the Pirates and the Rockies. Like, do you think the Dodgers give half a shit how much they're paying Shohei Ohtani? Like, do you think they actually care? And they just win World Series, and the Red Sox are content with going out in the wild card round because we finally brought playoff baseball back to Boston. Shut the fuck up with that. Of course you should be in the playoffs. You're the goddamn Boston Red Sox. For Christ's sakes, did I fever dream the last 20 years of rooting for this team? Was that a mistake? Like, was that just some weird out-of-body experience that I had that wasn't actually real? The Red Sox used to not give a shit about that. And then John Henry and Werner and Lucchino, both of them, God rest his soul, Larry Lucchino, they were getting muddled. Tom Werner was like, yeah, sign the Panda. Sign Kung Fu Panda. Oh, I remember Hanley Ramirez. He was so good with us as a minor leaguer. And you give out giant contracts to them and they're albatrosses. And so instead of thinking critically of like, oh, wow, actually looking back on it, we really didn't need to sign either of those guys in the first place. And we were the only team that didn't put a weight clause in Pablo Sandoval's contract. And maybe that fucked us over. Instead, they said, actually, it's everyone else that's out of touch. They did the old Seymour Skinner. Everyone else is out of touch. We did it right. We just can't hand out long-term contracts anymore. Instead of critically thinking and saying we gave out long-term contracts to the wrong players and we're under the wrong team building philosophy, they said we can't give out long-term contracts to anyone. And they're just going to wait till some sort of bubble bursts and everyone wins instead of them because they're not doing business the right way. But they've done it. They've done it again. They have fooled us again. They will not be serious under this regime. And we can keep thinking of the excuses, right? Oh, they didn't get Pete Alonso. Let's not freak out. They can get Ketel Marte. I like Ketel Marte. But like that is a microcosm of what they've done. Garrett Crochet ended up having a better year than Max Fried. Not by that much, but he did. I don't think the Yankees are kicking themselves because they got Max Fried and didn't trade for Garrett Crochet. John Henry gets his 4th World Series title, and now he just gets to make money and sit on his yacht with mostly alive people. And we are the suckers. We, the fans. We pay $70 to sit behind a pole on a Thursday night, $18 for a beer, $11 for a hot dogs, $50 for a fucking hat from the pro shop. Most expensive tickets in the league, and they're out here telling you we don't believe in long-term contracts. Personally, thank God. Thank the good Lord we didn't sign Mookie Betts to a long-term contract. Boy, that would have sucked for this franchise, huh? What a fucking joke, man. What a joke. This used to be the Boston Red Sox. That's what this franchise used to be. Now, I got nothing. Gauthier, somebody I used to know. I don't even recognize the way this team's doing business. And I don't know if that's even an indictment on the GM at this point. We can all blame it on Breslow because he's the one making the deals, but at the end of the day, it all comes down from ownership, how much money he could spend. And maybe, just maybe, if we were in those rooms, we'd be saying that Craig Breslow's doing the best damn job he possibly can. But they were way, way, way under market for Pete Alonso. Weren't even close for a guy who just fits their every frickin' need. Oh, he's too expensive. If we give him a 5-year deal, he'll be 36. Who gives a shit if he hits 35 homers, which he does every year? Even if he gives you 3 good years, who cares? Oh, I just hate the way this is being run. And again, I'm the sucker. I'll pay $30 a month for that dog shit product at Nessun Plus. And I'll watch 140 games of this team. I'm the sucker. We're all suckers. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a ton. We're bringing you nothing but Boston sports content 5 days a week, live on YouTube, noon Eastern time, and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart. Before we get to our last segment of the day where we talk about the Bruins Stadium Series jerseys, and we got some scathing reviews for that one. I got to take a moment because this is a big time weekend in the city for Boston sports, and it's not just Patriots Bills. This weekend, Boston says goodbye to one of its greatest treasures. Matthews Arena, formerly known as the Boston Arena, the oldest sports indoor arena in the world. It opened in 1910, and it's going to be torn down after hosting one last hockey game between Northeastern and BU Saturday night. I don't throw this term around lightly, but Matthews Arena is truly one of the great cathedrals in sports. And I say I don't throw that around lightly because, I grew up around here going to Fenway Park, a couple of times a year. I've been to Wrigley, I've been to Cameron Indoor Stadium, I've been to all these different places. Matthews is truly one of the cathedrals. In fact, you could argue it's one of the greatest cathedrals in Boston, in the greatest sports town in the world. It opened before Fenway. It outlasted the old Garden by 30 years. And it's the original home of the Bruins and the Celtics and the New England Whalers, if you're keeping score at home. Nowhere else can lay claim to that. I'll tell you that much. You look at the guys who skated there: Eddie Shore, Dick Clapper, Hobie Baker, Howie Morenz. Reggie Lewis played for Jim Calhoun in that building. And you walk in there today, as I did a few weeks ago. Let's give you a shot of it again. As I did a few weeks ago, and it's just a trip back in time, man. You walk in, there's one concourse, and it's got glass that looks out onto the ice. You can see it there, man. Obstructed views, upper deck overhang, wood panel ceiling. It is an absolute trip back in time, and in so many ways, it is perfect. If you're into that old aesthetic and all the history that you can feel in there, it's perfect. Look at the tiny press box. You can't see it in there, but the old school radiators in the back of the seats. You've got the overhang, which is obstructing your view down low and up top. I sat in there for a period a few weeks ago. You can't see any of the corner puck battles. And as you can see in the picture here at the end, it's showing its age a little bit. The building's basically been condemned. It's got to come down. It's 115 years old. But you can absolutely feel the history wherever you walk in there. The first game the Boston Bruins ever played was right there. They played a Stanley Cup final in there. Bruins Rangers, 1927. And that barn must have been just electric. Electric. It was also the original host of the Beanpot. The best damn hockey tradition we have in this city. And they were the home ice rink for all 4 Beanpot teams at one point. Northeastern is not the biggest or most famous or well-supported hockey team in Boston, but this arena is really the birthplace of hockey in this city. And that's what gets us so into this thing, man. Boston is the greatest hockey city in the United States in terms of passion and in terms of players it produced and will continue to produce. And it really all starts with the old Boston Arena. This place opened 14 years before the NHL even came to America. Before there was Boston Bruins and Eddie Shore, this city needed a place to play hockey. That's how big this sport was in town. High schools and colleges, they were playing on the frozen ponds. But it all takes off when you take the game inside. There is no Bruins without this arena. There's no Beanpot. There may not even be a college hockey scene in Boston without the old barn on St. Botolph Street. Think about that. No 11 national championships between the Beanpot schools. Well, 3 of them anyway. No Jack Parker or Jerry York. No Miracle on Ice. Maybe no 1960 gold medal either. The Cleary brothers on the 1960 team, they played their college hockey home games at the Boston Arena. Jack Parker and Jerry York, before they were behind the bench for BU and BC respectively, they were playing in the Boston Arena. All the greatest players who have come through here, right? Jack Eichel, Macklin Celebrini, the Cleary brothers, Keith Kachuk, Jim Craig, Micah Ruzioni, Dave Silken, Jack O'Callahan, Adam Gaudette. They all played in this arena. Hockey is in the fabric of this city. And no American city has done more for the game of hockey than Boston has. And this is the place that started the whole damn thing. You can sit in the same seats where people were bitching about the Babe Ruth trade the day that it happened in 1920, where they toasted the end of Prohibition, where they watched 18, 19-year-old kids skating in their last game before going off to fight the Nazis and the Japanese. And the same thing with the Vietnam War. All the way up through the British invasion, Michael Jackson changing races, and the war on TikTok. It all happened when stuff was happening at the Matthews Arena. You could have seen Bob Dylan. You could have seen Johnny Cash or The Doors when Jim Morrison slammed a microphone through the stage because the building turned off the power at 2 a.m. because it was their first rock show in 12 years. Jerry Lee Lewis played the last one before that. The first major event they had there was hosting the president, President Roosevelt, President Teddy Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Herbert Hoover, and yes, even Franklin Roosevelt all spoke there. They campaigned there. They hosted receptions for Amelia Earhart and Charles Lindbergh. The first great indoor meeting house for sports and politics and just about everything else in this city was the Boston Arena. And now they get to do it one more time. BU, Northeastern, old-time rivals who called that their home arena at some point. Only one of them won a national championship with that as their home arena. It's the 71 BU Terriers. But this is where it all started. The most historic American-based NHL franchise, the most historic basketball franchise on the planet Earth. They played their first games right there. I'm sad, man. I wish I could get there tomorrow. Like, it kind of makes me a little emotional. I'm not a Northeastern fan, but what I deeply care about more than almost anything on the planet is hockey and this city and history and all those things put together, and you get this arena. And I'm sad that we won't be able to walk up St. Botolph Street coming off the Orange Line and seeing that great facade, you know, with the big archway and the people getting to go outside and smoke a cigarette during intermissions. That still happens, by the way. It's no longer playable. It's not. It's a condemned building. They have to do this. But damned if it's not one of the coolest places I've ever been to see any kind of sporting event. So if you have the opportunity and you got the means, get out there tomorrow and say one last goodbye to the best old barn in this city. If you've got any memories of it, let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Of course, we come at you every weekday, noon Eastern time, live on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart. Because Lord knows EEI and 98.5 ain't doing any kind of Boston Arena, Matthews Arena tributes today. That's for sure. When we come back, we're going to pay tribute in a way to the Bruins' new Stadium Series jerseys. We speculated on what they might look like. They are here. They are not like any of our mock-ups, and we've got opinions. Myself and Zach Burke will break that down next on the Wicked Boston Show.
Dive into adventure with scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit propmoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Golf Partner.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
Experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
BosleyMD.com.
Welcome back, Wicked Boston Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. On this Friday, we've gotten you ready for Patriots Bills on Sunday. Biggest game we've seen for the Patriots in quite a while, I would say, if I do say so myself. And we've also talked about this bombshell report about the Red Sox, which doesn't surprise some people, but is really damning when it all comes down to it, about how they don't commit to long-term contracts. And of course, we've said our tribute and goodbye to the place formerly known as the Boston Arena, now the Matthews Arena, the oldest indoor arena in the United States, which is playing host to its final hockey game on Saturday night. As you can tell, I'm filibustering a little bit. I'd like to bring in Zach Burke here to talk about this new development in the Boston Bruins. Oh, sorry, Zach. I accidentally hit you out there. Sorry, I can't hear you.
I haven't talked yet.
There we go.
There we go. There
we go. We talked about the concept jerseys a few weeks ago, Zach.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun with it. I think that ended up being like a 30-minute segment with all the possibilities for the Bruins Stadium Series. It's not something they've ever done. They've only done Winter Classic outdoor games and that Lake Tahoe one, which we're all leaning in towards like faux back is what we call that, like trying to look like a throwback uniform.
I went full screen, so I can't see what you're loading in because I want to be fully surprised by this.
Okay. And now we have got it. They are here. Zach didn't watch, and I told him not to because I wanted him to react to this. Here are the Bruins Stadium Series jerseys 2026. I'm just going to let you give your reaction here. I'm not going to sway anyway.
Why is the bear so small? Like, out of everything we looked at of what they could have gone, it's not as hideous as what it could be, but like, it looks like the way they have the bottom of Boston like arched out, that they thought, oh, we'll make it bigger. Hey, the Bears came in the wrong wrong size. I just stick them in the center. We'll be fine. I love that the Bruin, the Bear Bruin logo. I do love it, but Am I wrong in thinking that it's too basic?
I kind of hate it, man. I kind of hate it entirely because here's why. I don't think I said this with the Red Wings last year, and the Red Wings actually kind of pulled it off, but I didn't love it. The Bruins have such good logos.
Yes.
That there really isn't a scenario where they should have Boston word marked on their jerseys. Because first off, it's not really an NHL thing to do. It's a college hockey thing. This looks like a college hockey uniform. That's what college teams do. Like there's the Bruins have had such great logos and great alternate logos that there's really no reason in my eyes to have Boston word marked on any jersey. Some people don't like the gold. I love the gold. I think the Bruins have done great with gold jerseys in the past. But I don't like the word mark. And to your point, if you're going to do that logo, can we not make it size 10 font here? Like what the hell? First off, let me ask you this. If they ditch the Boston part of it and just have that logo, obviously a lot bigger, is that a better look?
I think it is.
It's basic.
It is, but I think it's better than what they have there.
I do think it's better. And I asked myself this last night when they revealed this. I came to the same conclusion. And I had this thought of like, you take out the Boston, you keep the Bruins logo, and you do kind of like some stripes up and down the jersey, be it brown or black. Brown is kind of what they used to look like. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wait, that's exactly like one of the concept jerseys that we put out there.
Yep.
But like you add a little something, you add some stripes horizontally and just that logo. And it's basic. It's kind of boring, but okay, fine. Like I will give them some benefit of the doubt here. I did the math last night and I should have wrote it down. But they've had to do like 11 jerseys in the last 10 years with their centennial stuff. And like, it was all to take our money. Right. But they have had to do a lot creatively, but here you had a chance you just unveiled the new shoulder logo, which is that one that's underneath. And that's what they went with.
I expected, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. I know we talked about, maybe it'll be futuristic or, they could be like retro.
A lot of them have done. Yeah.
It just seems like everywhere they could have gone, this is what I least expected. Like I expected if it was going to be something that I didn't like, that they would at least try something. Like, I don't know. Like I thought it would be like, oh, I don't care for that. But at least they went for it. This just seems, again, like I like the idea. Obviously I don't watch a lot of college hockey, but it does seem like something's off with just having the town script across there.
You know what it is?
Thing. I do know that.
You know what it is? This is if you were making a hockey movie or TV show and didn't have the licensing rights.
Yes.
Have a Bruins jersey. Like this is exactly what it would be.
You would take just the Bruins off the bear part there, and it would just say Boston and have a bear, and you'd be like, "Oh, that's the Bruins."
You know who that?
Or not even have that. It's just like a green and white basketball jersey. It's just
it's like
generic creative team hockey jerseys.
Exactly, man. It's like these jerseys that from the China websites that sell the Happy Gilmore Bruins jerseys. Yeah. And it's black and gold and it just says Boston written out. And it's like, well, obviously that's not it. That's what you're going for here.
It's a little bit better than a Temu jersey because the numbers appear on both shoulders to be like in line. So, but still, like it does kind of seem like, like a generic just, oh, this is supposed to be a Bruins jersey. Got it. That is a very good point.
Yeah. That's the first thing that struck me there.
Can I add something real quick that I will? I didn't like it at first, but the white stripe on the bottom and the bottom of the sleeves, I don't hate too much.
I'd rather it be black, but
no, I get it. But I just with everything else on the jersey, I at least appreciate the white, like the matching of like, oh, white collar, white strap, all that kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm trying to find good things to say about it.
So I'll show you some of the details here because one of the things that leaked was the Lightning jersey, and in the background was this like kind of flags of each team, and one of them had this Bruins logo that people were like, "Oh God, please don't be on the front of the jersey." And it's not my favorite logo they've ever done. I think it's kind of boring. But if it was just this on the front of the jersey, I might have liked it better. So here's what's on the shoulder.
Okay. I like that. Like, again, I understand you might not want it to be the main thing on the front, but compared to what you got, like, give me the B with the claw marks behind it for sure.
And see, you do that on the front, and then you have some sort of claw mark thing with the numbers in the back.
Ooh,
and I think you've got something. I think you've got something there. Is it my favorite? No. I don't love the block B, except for one retro throwback that they haven't done in a long time. But anyway, but I think that is better.
Yeah. Is that, oh, that's ice. Never mind. I was trying to see what was on the jersey. I was like, what in the, is that? Oh, it's ice. Okay.
Yeah, they play on that. And then
we don't have it here in Texas, so it confuses me.
Yeah. They just put steers out there for their final resting place. Looking at the big thing now with NHL jerseys, and I think NFL too, is like these back of the collar. Like, what are you writing?
Oh,
on
yeah,
them?
yeah. Like on the inside of it?
Yes. And this is becoming controversial here. This is what the Bruins have put on the back of theirs.
Are those states?
The 6 New England states. But the people of Connecticut are upset because Connecticut did used to have an NHL team. And
Hartford, yeah.
Yes, and they were constantly at odds with the Bruins because the Bruins tried to claim territorial rights of like, hey, you can't put another team in here. New England's our territory.
Oh.
And it kind of goes both ways because most of us in New England do not claim Connecticut. They are fake wannabe New Yorkers. So we'd rather just keep 5 out there. Steve Levy last night, as they did the reveal, was like the 5 New England states as he looks through 6 of them. So that I would be okay if you just took Connecticut out of there.
So yeah, so Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. Then
bam, look at
5.
you.
I remember my abbreviations, baby.
You nailed it.
Mhm.
Hi, me 5 cents is what it says on the bottles because in Hawaii and Maine. Anyway,
that's true.
God, I love Maine. So let's look real quick at who they're facing, the Tampa Bay Lightning, because this jersey leaked earlier in the day, and people said this looks awful, and you didn't get some of the definition that you'll see on this one. And there's no way the Bruins could do worse than this.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't want to watch this game. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
It's going to look bad, man. It is going to look bad.
What is that?
I'm not a fan of this jersey. By the way, I'm sick of teams doing the three letter like Foxbox abbreviation.
Yeah.
The Rangers did it a couple years ago with their Stadium Series jersey, and I thought it actually looked great. And it was mostly because of the color of it. But yeah, they have done that, and they have gone with the lightning bolts inside the words, the letters there, and it also does it for the numbers on the back, which I think is a cool choice.
It's a cool
but it's
look.
just you just didn't nail any of the rest of it. And
It would have been, I think, if you keep the regular lightning logo and have that effect in like the lightning bolt, it would look a lot cooler than some big ass TBL just smacked across the front of the jersey.
Yeah, not a fan of the TBL there. I want to get a picture real quick. God damn it. It's not a JPEG, of course, so it's going to take me a minute. But someone did this mock-up, like side by side. What if these teams did their shoulder patch jersey as the front logo on the jersey? And obviously we have seen the Bruins one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the Lightning one right now, and of course it's gonna fucking take forever.
Does it look like what the flag looks behind it while you're doing it, where it's like the skull with the
not to give spoilers here, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was just trying to help.
No, because this is I brought this up because it's something that we kind of talked about when we did the concept jerseys. Was like, do you lean into where you're playing?
Because they're playing at Raymond James, right?
Right. And I think obviously that's better for the home team to do. And so this is what it would have. It's kind of that pirate ship. And like, it doesn't make any sense because you're not seeing the lightning. Like, really, you're just seeing it. I'm kind of here for this one, though.
I like
kind
it more.
of like taking the risk there.
Except it looks, again, I'll bring up what I brought up last time with this. It looks like it's also the Grateful Dead logo.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't love
gonna care
the
too
writing
much.
around it. Like that's good for a shoulder patch and not for
Yeah.
a primary logo. Like
it looks like an MLS logo.
Yeah. Yeah. A crest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather you just do like full on, like a pirate ship flag with the swords, like go all in on that. And just have a big lightning bolt through the middle, like they kind of have there. And I think that's not the best, but I think that would be okay.
I think that's better than what they ended up doing.
Yeah.
I think both of them, as great as they might not have been, are still better if they went with the shoulder patches.
Both of these suck, man. Both of these suck. And it goes back to what I was kind of saying when we did the concept was there's like they've done stadium series for like 12, 13 years now. And there's been like 2 that I've actually liked. Like seriously, 2. It was that Rangers one that people are trying to copy now with the 3 letters. And that Blue Jackets one last year with the cannon that I still would like to buy.
It's
but yeah,
I'll have to go find the blue. It's the Stars next year, right? I feel like I saw that.
I believe the Stars are hosting the
maybe it's the outdoor classic, the Winter Classic.
Yep.
My bad. I knew that it was announced for 2027. I can't remember which one it was though. Because this game it's 2026, right?
Yeah. February 1st. So anyway, could you give it a letter grade? Bruins one?
I'll give the Bruins C's pass here. D's don't. I'm giving it a D+.
Damn, I was going to give it a D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it could be worse.
It could. Well, here's the thing. I will give the Lightning one an F because I think the Lightning one is worse than this than after seeing both of them. I hate the way that looks. Just the TBL.
Yeah, and I appreciate the hustle on the Lightning aesthetic.
Oh, for sure. I like that part, but
I don't like how these colors clash. These 2 different blues. I think that sucks. And if you're gonna do it like the Royals do, you've got to do it the other way around, which is tough to do with the lightning bolts. But like if you're gonna do a royal blue and like a Columbia blue, the Columbia blue has to be the primary color, in my opinion. And obviously, it goes better with navy. Like you see, China Spring does that sometimes. Navy with that, and it looks way better. Anyway, if you've got color grades or if you got letter grades for it, people, let me know in the comment section below. Then like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps Zach keep his family fed. It helps me keep my job. Thank you, Zach, for doing this. And thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great weekend. We will have Monday Morning Mike on Monday, breaking down the Patriots, the Bills, hopefully talking about an AFC East championship. We will see you then on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stuart.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.